The 2025-2026 NBA City Edition jerseys have just dropped. I'm the Jaguar, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over each of these jerseys, letting you know what I think about them, and giving them a final review. And there's a lot to cover. Let's get right to it. All right, so before we get started with the reviews, if you don't mind dropping me a like and subscribe, it greatly helps my channel out. And I really do appreciate everybody tuning in and showing me the love and support that they have since I opened up the channel. It means a lot to me. So with that said, with Atlanta, we're gonna have that awesome black peach tree jersey, guys. The peach details is really nice, and obviously peaches speak for itself with Atlanta in the state of Georgia. I think it's a clean looking jersey, a little bit bland for my taste. I would like to see a little bit more variety with it, but as is, 7.0. Now next up, we got Boston with a white jersey and gold details. Guys, off the bat, it doesn't look too bad. However, I would like to see some of that Kelly green in there to give the jersey a little bit more of a Boston feel. I know there's a lot of history tied into this jersey with the championships and the coaches for why they chose the design. As is though, 6.75. Again, clean jersey. I just would like to see some Kelly green in it. All right, next up, we got the Brooklyn Nets with that awesome Biggie-inspired jersey, straight up Brooklyn style. Guys, I liked it when they wore it before, and I love it now. I'm going to give this jersey 8.75. Really doesn't need too much to be changed. Could be a little bit different in my opinion, but as is, still a very solid jersey from a very, very, very solid Brooklyn icon and a rapper. All right, the Charlotte Hornets. Guys, you know, honestly, this jersey is, what can I say, a little bit loud. You know, typically, as you know, I love bright colors, loud jerseys, and unique styles. However, with this one, looks like they were trying to clash too much together. I'm going to give it a 5.5. Honestly, I'm not that big of a fan of this one this time. And typically, in the past, they've always had good City Edition jerseys. All right, my hometown, Chicago Bulls. Now, guys, last year's I thought was so-so at best. This one, bias aside, I really like. And as a Chicago person, guys, I could tell you that this jersey has a true Chicago feel with the colors of the Chicago flag. And then we have these stars on the side. Now, if you remember, the first City Edition that they wore was like this, but it was a white version of it. And I do think this black version does look a little bit better. Now, I will say, though, I think the stars on the side could be a little bit bigger, or they could be red. As is, though, I'm getting this jersey at 8.5. Needs a little work, but as is, very solid jersey and well above average. All right, next to Cleveland Cavaliers. Yes, I know this is supposed to be kind of like a rerun or remix City Edition series again, like they did in the past. However, a lot of teams are reusing ideas that didn't necessarily have to be reused. This is one of them, guys. We've seen the Cleveland logo and name way too many times. Colors are kind of cool, guys. I'm going to give it a 6.0. Not the worst on the eyes. However, definitely not anything more than bland at best. Next up, the Dallas Mavericks. Guys, honestly, this isn't a bad-looking jersey. I originally had the white version of it when it first came out in a Luka Doncic. However, I had to let it go, unfortunately. As is, though, this one does look really solid. For me, between the white and this one, guys, honestly, I'm kind of like 50-50 which one I like better. This is going to look great on Cooper Flagg and Kyrie Irving. I love the black jersey and the blue details with those Pegasus wings on the side. 7.5, guys, definitely not a bad jersey. All right, Denver Nuggets. Now, guys, this jersey is very good looking, and we have seen this jersey used in different colorways before for this team, guys, in City Editions. Now, I do like this one. I'm going to give it a solid 8.0 because it is a nice looking jersey. However, I kind of would like to see the same style, but with navy, powder blue, and yellow, or maybe primarily powder blue with navy and yellow details in the rainbow. I think that would have been good to mix it up a little bit while keeping the same style. As is, though, still very solid, and definitely they brought it back for a reason. All right, now we got the Detroit Pistons using black with that bad boy theme, and then we're going to also go back to the Grant Hill days with the teal, the maroon, and the gold. Definitely not a bad looking jersey. Guys, I'm going to give this one a solid 7.0. Could be worse, but it could be a little bit better. All right, next up is going to be one that is honestly a sleeper, and at first I thought it was boring, but looking at it, I really like it. It's going to be the Golden State Warriors, guys. I'm giving it an 8.5. I love the warm base to it, guys. Really unique, and they really went with a look that they haven't done in the past in terms of colorway. I think they did a great job with it. It's going to look good on court. All right, and next up are going to be the Houston Rockets with a 7.75. At first, I thought this one was all right originally, but it definitely grew on me. Guys, it has that classic white, red, and blue that we see across all sports. Now, I haven't spent too much time in Houston, so I can't really say if it has a true Houston feel to it. Guys, in the comments, let me know if it does, if you're from Houston. But as is, regardless, 7.75, it's a solid jersey. Okay, one that I really like a lot is going to be the Indiana Pacers with a 9.25. It has a nice mixtape feel to it. It has a nice Indianapolis Pacers feel to it, and it looks aesthetically appealing. Guys, what more can you ask for? Now, next up, we're going to have the Los Angeles Clippers at 7.25. Now, guys, I do like that it's orange. I do like seeing a different color on these City Edition jerseys because they're almost always black or white in terms of color base. But this one's nice. It's orange, and they're mixing different ideas from the Buffalo Braves days before they moved up to be the Clippers. And guys, it doesn't show in the pictures, but on the side it is black and it does have some stars on there. So it's kind of cool. It is clashing though with different styles and different colors into one jersey. As is though, I give the score that I did. All right, the Los Angeles Lakers bringing it back from a couple seasons ago. Guys, I'm going to give it a 7.0. I like how they used that diagonal word mark. I had this jersey originally, but I let it go when it first came out. Cool jersey. Again though, guys, a little bit bland. I kind of think they should have maybe stuck with the same jersey, just did a different color base, maybe with purple and black and gold details, or maybe a gold jersey with purple and black details, whatever. As is though, it's all right. You know, it passes. Again, they could have done better though. Now, a really clean looking jersey is going to be the Memphis Grizzlies. I gotta say, guys, I'm gonna give this a 7.5, just based purely on aesthetics. Now, they brought it back from the past and changed the colors around. Honestly, for me though, this looks more of like a solid home jersey, and it would look awesome as is. And I'd love to see like a navy version of it or a powder blue version to be their away, and then obviously a statement edition version. For a City Edition, guys, it doesn't scream too much city to me, but looks wise alone, it gets a 7.5. One jersey that needs no introduction is going to be the Miami Heat. I loved this Miami Knights jersey when it came out back in the day. I have it in its Dwayne Wade, and I love it now. It needs no changes. Perfect jersey in my opinion, especially for a City Edition. Miami Vice Knights City Edition jersey, guys. 10.0. What else more do you need from this one? And the Milwaukee Bucks with Cream City. I know this was big with fans, guys. It is a solid looking jersey, and it does have a nice Cream City Milwaukee feeling to it. 7.5, guys, definitely not bad at all. Another absolute banger, guys, that I'm so happy they brought back. I wish I would have got it before, but now hopefully I'll have the opportunity to get it at this point. It's going to be the Minnesota Timberwolves with that Princess Spiral jersey. Guys, iconic artists from a iconic city, and purple is my favorite color, as you guys hear me say all the time. I love this jersey, guys, near flawless. I'm going to give it a 9.75. I love the font, the color, the theme, etc., etc. The only thing would make it a little bit better, if it doesn't have it already, I've never seen it in person. Now, if that detail up here on top is metallic with metallic threads, it'll get a 10.0. I have to see it in person, though, to give it a 10.0. As is, though, 9.75, like I said. All right, New Orleans Pelicans, guys, not a bad looking jersey, kind of boring. I like last year's a lot better. I thought last year's purple was a big sleeper. This one's going to get a 7.0, though, solid jersey. Another solid jersey, guys, is going to be the New York Knicks. I'm going to give it a solid 7.75. Not too much needed to be changed at all. And with a whopping 8.25, it's going to be the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, guys, the original one that came out when Westbrook was still on the team, I absolutely loved, in that bright teal, almost like this color of the jersey. This one in navy does look good. Originally, I thought it was so-so, but looking at it again, it is really a smooth and clean looking jersey. That's why it's getting the score that it did at 8.25. All right, the Orlando Magic. Guys, kind of cool with the stars on there, but besides that, nothing too much going on. I'm going to give it a 6.0 for the Orlando Magic. All right, getting a 6.75 is going to be the Philadelphia 76ers, guys. Not a bad looking jersey at all. However, for Philadelphia, I'd like to see something more that the city has to offer. All right, next up is going to be one of the easiest jerseys to grade, and that is going to be the Phoenix Suns with a 10.0. Guys, this jersey needs no changes. I loved it automatically right when it came out, and I still love it just as much now. All right, another easy one to grade, but at the opposite end of the spectrum is going to be the Portland Trail Blazers with a 5.0, guys. I know it's based off like the airport and the carpet or whatever it was. I just don't think it's a good looking jersey or a good looking idea, to tell you the truth. Sacramento Kings, guys, yes, it's a purple jersey. I'm going to give it a 7.0. It could be worse. However, though, I would like to see something else again from Sacramento to be inspired by. All right, next up in an 8.5, it's going to be the San Antonio Spurs. I love that war mark. I love the colorway going across the front. On top of the black, it really pops. Really nice looking jersey for the Spurs. All right, and the Toronto Raptors. What to say about this one, guys? I think it's an okay looking jersey. They're not going to beat the Raptors that they used last year for the Vince Carter inspired jersey, guys. That was their max. They're not going to do better than that, in my opinion. This one, though, still 7.0. That Raptor can't be beat in any regards. All right, Utah, I'm going to give a 6.5, guys. I do like that different colorway that they're using for a change, so hats off for them for doing something different with the colorway. Jersey as is, though, for me, it looks kind of cool. It's like a fashion jersey or something to kick around in. On court, though, to give a better score, I'd have to see it on court, though. Another easy one to grade is going to be the Washington Wizards, guys. They're going back to the Gilbert Arenas days when they wore that throwback back in the 2000s. I liked it back then, and now they gave it a little bit more modern touch. I'm going to give it a 9.0. I love this jersey. Easy one to grade. All right, so there we go. For those of you who stuck around to the end, thank you for watching. Now, guys, let me know which of these jerseys you like the best and which of them you didn't. Let me know if you're going to be planning to get any of them, and let me know if you have any cool ideas for future jerseys for your team. I'm the Jaguar. Stay tuned for more videos.